Lampedusa, this small Italian island, was plunged into the spotlight after thousands of refugees from Tunisia arrived following the recent Jasmine Revolution. Many braved the hazardous journey to reach their dream destination, Europe.
We had one option, come to Lampedusa and find work in Europe. We risked life and limb at sea because there's no work in Tunisia. Half the population is unemployed because Ben Ali's family plundered the state. They didn't leave a penny. We're delighted to be here in the hope of finding work. And if they don't allow us to stay, we'll go back to Tunisia and then leave again and return to Lampedusa. We won't stop.
In the wake of the Jasmine Revolution, as many as 5,000 Tunisians have boarded small vessels and headed for the island south of Sicily. Closer to Africa than Italy, Lampedusa has long been the first port of call for African migrants heading for Europe. The sudden arrival of thousands of Tunisians prompted the authorities to reopen a reception centre for refugees closed a year ago. Most say they fled the violence, poverty and corruption, which they claim is still going on. Off camera, some say they face threats because of their links to the old regime. Others claim they've been threatened by Libyans connected to the regime of Ben Ali.
There's violence in Tunisia and many problems with Gaddafi, many stories. I went to Tunisia 1 week ago. I flew to fetch my wife who was pregnant. I had to go.
Lajnaf lives and works legally in France, but he's been unable to obtain a visa for his wife, so he returned to Europe with her illegally. A 3-day crossing packed on a fishing boat with 250 others.
I have my French papers. I took a risk and saw death at sea.
We can go to study, we can go to shopping, we can do anything because we don't have a president. So the people, all of people do what they want. It's war, yes, Libyans and family of Trabelsi and police can kill people.
Zainab and her husband leave the centre within minutes of our conversation. They are off to a detention camp in Italy, where they hope to obtain the relevant paperwork. It is here that humanitarian organisations explain to immigrants their rights as refugees in Europe.
An asylum seeker must register in the country they first arrive. If there's no request for political asylum, they'll be considered an illegal immigrant, and Italy has the right to repatriate, to expel them. Under the Dublin Convention, if they request asylum in France, they can be sent back to Italy.
It's a rule that Tarek, who works for the NGO Save the Children, fell foul of. He arrived illegally on the island in 2005 after fleeing Eritrea. He crossed the desert and spent time in a Libyan jail. After a brief stay in the Netherlands and France, he was forced back to Italy. Now, living on the island, he does his best to help those suffering similar hardships.
People don't leave their families, their brothers, because they want to. I didn't leave because I liked it. I had no choice. When you see people take such risks, you see people die, women raped. When you arrive here, no one understands. They talk about Libya, Tunisia. They say, we will win. You talk about your problems and no one listens. It makes you sad. You have to understand what's happened. Where is the justice? We have to get mad. Where are their rights? Why no rights? Because humans have a right to live.
But what about the rights of the population of the island? An island that lives off fishing and tourism. Although most of those who arrived in February have left, the islanders' hospitality is at best jaded.
Times are hard for the fishermen, hoteliers and restaurateurs. Nobody wants to come to Lampedusa to see all these illegal immigrants. Who wants to come and bathe here? There are 6,000 inhabitants here, with children. There are 5,000 young men. Of course we're scared. How can we leave our wives and children at home to go fishing? We don't want to leave them alone. All they do is hang around.
A major concern for the island is the spectre of tens of thousands of Libyans seeking sanctuary. The mayor of Lampedusa wants other European countries to help with the influx.
Non possiamo accettare intere popolazioni che fuggono da quel territorio.
We can't cope with an entire population leaving to find a better life. Political asylum's guaranteed. We'll certainly help people escape war and death, but it doesn't mean they can stay here on our land, because we already have an abundance of vagabonds and thieves.
Di Lampedusa né tantomeno in Italia, perché di vagabondi e di mala gente ce ne abbiamo in abbondanza.
At Italy's request, Frontex, a surveillance agency which monitors the external borders of the EU, has launched a support operation involving a dozen member states. Specialists are already in place at immigration centres, and planes and boats will assist the Italian authorities. Citizens' committees set up on the island say it's not enough. If the island lacks the means to prevent massive refugee flows, Lampedusa faces extinction, and some are calling for a state of emergency.
Noi aspettiamo che l'Europa predisponga un servizio di pattugliamento, di navi.
We want a collective European force, ships from all over Europe to patrol the Sicily Channel, which is an open flank to the whole of Europe.
However, the refugees are not without allies. For the spokesperson of the environmental group Legambiente says their passage to Lampedusa is necessary. The island, known as the gateway to Europe, should not become the symbol of Fortress Europe.
L'Europa ha bisogno di questa forza lavoro. Perché farli venire da clandestini?
Europe needs this workforce. Why these people have to risk their lives at sea? Why not regulate flows in a consistent way to fill the needs of our continent?
In maniera confacente alle esigenze reali che ci sono nel nostro continente.
This is something shared by those looking for a better life in Europe, a continent still searching for a way in which to deal with the tens of thousands who arrive at its borders each year.
In Europe, there's a democracy, the right to speak, you have the right to work, unlike Tunisia. And there, if you protest, you have to deal with the police. It's handcuff time, prison, do not pass go.
Direct police يهزوك معناتها minute يهزوك direct.
When Tunisia gets a new president and democracy's in place, then we'll go home. Why would we stay here to bother people?
On vient pas pour déranger les gens.